Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. It's a statement so simple, yet it carries the weight of an entire lifetime's truth. We live in a world where everyone wants to fix something: the system, the people, the environment, the politics. But very few dare to look within and ask the most uncomfortable question of all. What if the problem begins with me? Every revolution that has ever transformed humanity started not with noise, not with slogans, not with blame, but with awareness. Awareness that something deep inside needs to evolve. The moment you realize that the world you see is only a reflection of the person you are, everything begins to shift. You stop fighting the shadows outside and start lighting the fire within. Because when you change yourself, you change the lens through which you see everything. You see, the world doesn't need more critics. It doesn't need more people complaining about how broken everything is. It needs more awakened individuals, people who take responsibility for their thoughts, their energy, their actions, their presence. Because the truth is, the world changes every time one person decides to rise above his own chaos. Change is never comfortable. It demands honesty. It demands courage. It asks you to stand naked before your own weaknesses and face the truth you've been avoiding. It asks you to let go of the excuses you've built over years, the stories you tell yourself to justify your inaction. It whispers, if not you, then who? If not now, then when? When you look at the world, you might see injustice, greed, selfishness, laziness, or ignorance. But what if you stopped pointing fingers and started asking, where does that exist inside me? Am I truly free from what I condemn? Am I living with the integrity I expect from others? That's where transformation begins, not in argument but in awareness. We've been conditioned to believe that power lies outside us. We think governments shape our destiny, people shape our peace, and society shapes our potential. But that's a lie. The truth is, the greatest power you will ever have is the power over yourself, your habits, your reactions, your mindset, your discipline. The moment you claim ownership of your own being, the world stops controlling you. Changing yourself is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you really are, beyond fear, beyond ego, beyond the noise of opinions. It's about stripping away the false layers until only truth remains. The truth that you are capable of more, that you were born for a reason, that your purpose is not to complain about the darkness, but to be the light that cuts through it. Most people want to change the world because it distracts them from changing themselves. It's easier to point out what's wrong with others than to admit what's wrong within us. It's easier to fight an external battle than to conquer the invisible one inside. But every time you run from self-change, you hand your power away. Every time you avoid looking inward, the cycle continues. Real transformation begins in silence, in those quiet moments when you finally stop running and start listening. The noise of the world fades, and a new voice begins to rise. Your true voice, the one that's been buried beneath fear and conformity. It tells you that greatness doesn't come from changing everything around you. It comes from mastering yourself. You can't control how others act, but you can control how you respond. You can't change the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You can't decide the circumstances, but you can decide the attitude with which you face them. That's the real battlefield, not out there, but in here, inside your mind, inside your spirit. When you change yourself, something powerful happens. You stop being a victim of life, and you start becoming a creator of it. You begin to realize that the world bends to those who bend their inner reality. The stronger your inner foundation, the more unshakable your outer world becomes. Look at every great human being who ever lived. Not one of them changed the world without first changing themselves. They didn't wake up and say, "The world must change." They woke up and said, "I must be the change." And in that decision, they became unstoppable. Because the most powerful force on earth is not money, not fame, not influence. It's alignment between who you are and what you do. Self-change isn't about perfection. It's about evolution. It's about being better than you were yesterday, not better than someone else today. It's about recognizing that every time you rise above your old habits, Every time you choose discipline over distraction, kindness over anger, growth over comfort, you are contributing to the healing of the world. Yes, the world needs saving, but that saving won't come from outside. It will come from awakened souls who no longer wait for permission to grow, who no longer wait for ideal conditions to take action, who realize that the greatest revolution is internal. When you become conscious of your thoughts, your actions, your words, you begin to shape reality. Your energy ripples outward. You influence the vibration of your environment. Your peace becomes contagious. Your discipline becomes inspiring. Your compassion becomes healing. That's how one person begins to change the world, silently, powerfully, authentically. It begins with waking up each morning and asking, what can I do today to be a better version of myself? It begins with the decision to stop blaming and start building, to stop waiting and start walking, to stop criticizing and start creating. Every time you choose self-growth over self-pity, you're rewriting the destiny of humanity, because change is never isolated. Every evolved human being creates a wave that touches thousands of others. And so, by transforming yourself, you are transforming the collective. The day you stop demanding perfection from the world and start striving for progress within, you free yourself. You become light. You stop reacting to chaos and start radiating calm. You stop chasing validation and start living with purpose. You want to change the world? Then change your words. Change your habits, change your intentions, change the way you love, the way you listen, the way you show up for others, because every act of self-awareness adds a thread to the fabric of a new humanity. Don't underestimate the power of a single conscious choice. Don't underestimate the ripple of one kind act, one moment of patience, one breath of understanding. That is where global transformation begins, in small moments of human courage and clarity. You were not born to complain. You were born to contribute. You were not born to blend in. You were born to awaken. The fire of change is already within you. The question is, will you light it? Because when you do, everything changes. Your perspective, your relationships, your possibilities. You begin to realize that the only way to fix the world is to first fix the person living inside your skin. And when you do that, when you finally become the change you seek, the world starts to mirror your light back to you. Because the universe always responds to transformation with transformation. That's the beginning of true revolution. Not outside, but within. The moment you start changing yourself, the world around you doesn't remain the same. It begins to mirror your inner evolution. The world is not separate from you. It is a reflection of what you carry inside. Your anger colors the sky red. Your peace turns it blue. Your doubt clouds your path, but your clarity lights it. Life has always been a mirror, and the reflection you see depends on what you are projecting from within. But we often forget this truth. We want peace without creating peace. We want love without becoming love. We want respect without living respectfully. We demand what we are unwilling to give, and then we call life unfair. Yet life is not unfair. Life is precise. It gives you not what you want, but what you are. The energy you radiate becomes the reality you live in. The greatest deception we fall into is believing that happiness lies in controlling the outer world. We change places, jobs, partners, even dreams. Yet the dissatisfaction follows us everywhere. Why? Because we've tried to rearrange the mirror instead of cleansing the reflection. We forget that it is not the scenery that needs to change, it is the seer. The path to true transformation is not about fixing the world, but about understanding it through the lens of consciousness. When you evolve, your perception evolves. What once seemed chaotic begins to make sense. What once triggered you begins to teach you. What once hurt you begins to heal you, because awareness turns pain into wisdom and struggle into strength. Change begins the moment you stop fighting reality and start mastering your response to it. The world will always have challenges, people will always have flaws, situations will always test you. But the question is, will you let them define you, or will you define yourself in the face of them? Because life isn't what happens to you. Life is what you do with what happens to you. When you start changing yourself, your energy begins to shift. The things that once controlled you lose their power. The opinions of others no longer shake you. Fear stops being your master and becomes your messenger. You start realizing that growth demands discomfort, that transformation is born in moments of pressure. The person you are right now is not your final form. It's just a temporary reflection of your current awareness. The more aware you become, the more powerful you grow. Awareness changes everything: the way you think, the way you speak, the way you treat others, the way you treat yourself. Awareness is the beginning of all change. Look closely at your thoughts. They create your emotions. Your emotions shape your behavior. Your behavior builds your character, and your character defines your destiny. So if you want to change your destiny, don't start from the outside, start from your thoughts. Cleanse them, guard them, direct them, because whatever you repeatedly think, you eventually become. But here's the truth most people avoid. Change is not easy, it's not pretty, it's not quick. Real transformation is a slow burn that destroys what no longer serves you. It tears away your illusions, exposes your weaknesses, and confronts your deepest fears. It demands patience, honesty, and courage. But that's the beauty of it, because the fire that burns you is the same fire that forges you. There will be days when you'll question yourself, days when you'll feel like nothing is changing, like all your effort is wasted. But understand this: growth is not always visible. Seeds grow underground long before they rise above the soil. Trust the process, even when it's silent, even when it's slow, even when it's painful. Trust it. Because every small act of self-mastery is rewriting your life in ways you can't yet see. People might not understand your transformation. They might question your silence, your focus, your detachment from things you once chased. That's okay. You're not changing for applause. You're changing for alignment. You're changing because you're done living on autopilot. You're changing because mediocrity no longer satisfies your soul. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, peace over drama, growth over comfort, you are rising. Every time you forgive when it's easier to hate, you are freeing yourself. Every time you stay calm in chaos, you're expanding your consciousness. And every time you act with integrity when no one is watching, you are changing the unseen fabric of the universe. Because self-change is not selfish, it's service. When you become better, the world around you becomes better. When you heal yourself, you stop passing on pain. When you raise your vibration, you lift those around you without even trying. That's how real change happens. Quietly, deeply, invisibly. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't spread peace if your heart is restless. You can't inspire others if you're drowning in doubt. That's why self-change isn't just a choice, it's a responsibility. You owe it to the world to be the best version of yourself. Because every healed person is one less broken person hurting others. Every conscious person is one less unconscious soul fueling chaos. Changing yourself means taking full ownership of your life. No more blaming, no more excuses, no more waiting for the perfect time. You realize that the power you were searching for has always been within you. The power to rise, to learn, to begin again. Sometimes change demands letting go of habits, of people, of old versions of yourself. It hurts, yes, but it's necessary. You can't step into the new while still holding on to the old. You can't climb with both hands tied to the past. The person you are becoming will cost you the person you were, and that's the price of evolution. But what you gain is far greater. You gain freedom. Freedom from fear, from dependency, from illusion. You gain clarity, the kind that cuts through confusion like sunlight through fog. You gain strength, not the loud kind, but the quiet kind that carries storms without breaking. Self-change doesn't mean becoming emotionless. It means mastering your emotions so they no longer master you. It means feeling deeply but choosing wisely. It means caring fully but not clinging. It means living passionately but peacefully. And as you grow, you'll notice something. The world starts to respond differently to you. Opportunities appear, relationships shift, circumstances align, because the universe rearranges itself to match the vibration of your inner state. The moment you change within, the external begins to follow. Remember, the world is not waiting to change, it's waiting for you to change. It's waiting for you to rise, to lead, to live as an example of what's possible when a human being takes full responsibility for his existence. The world doesn't need another opinion, it needs another transformation. So begin now. Don't wait for tomorrow, for permission, or for someone to believe in you. Believe in yourself. Begin where you are. Start with what you have. Use what you know. And move. Because movement creates momentum, and momentum creates miracles. The moment you decide to change yourself, the entire universe conspires to assist you. People, chances, signs, everything begins to guide you toward your higher path. Because life supports growth, life honors evolution, life rewards the brave. This is your mirror, your soul reflecting back at you through every experience, every person, every challenge. The question is, will you look deeply enough to see the truth? Because once you do, you can never unsee it. You'll realize that every situation, good or bad, is just another chance to evolve. And when you start seeing the world this way, peace becomes your natural state. Not because life becomes easier, but because you become stronger. Not because the world changes, but because you do. That is the real secret. The world outside is only as peaceful as the world inside you. Change yourself, and you'll change everything. There comes a moment in every person's life when the voice within grows louder than the noise outside. It whispers a truth that cannot be ignored. You were not born to remain the same. Growth is not a choice. It's a calling. And if you resist that calling long enough, life itself will shake you until you wake up. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every failure, they are not punishments. They are invitations. Invitations to rise higher than your old self. You see, comfort is seductive. It promises safety, familiarity, ease. But comfort is also a cage, soft on the outside, invisible to the eye, but strong enough to keep you from flying. And most people live their entire lives trapped inside it, mistaking comfort for peace, mistaking stagnation for stability. But deep inside, they know something's missing. A fire that once burned brightly has turned into ash. That fire, the fire of purpose, of passion, of transformation, is what the world needs most. But to ignite it again, you must go through the darkness within you. You must meet the parts of yourself you've avoided, the fears you've buried, the insecurities you've disguised, the regrets you've ignored. Because the fire within is not found in denial, it's found in confrontation. The journey of self-change begins when you stop running from yourself. When you turn around and face your own shadow with compassion, not judgment. When you stop pretending to be perfect and start accepting that you're a masterpiece still in progress. True power doesn't come from pretending you're flawless. It comes from embracing your flaws and transforming them into fuel. The fire within you is not about anger or aggression. It's the burning desire to evolve, to become the person you were always meant to be. It's that unshakable commitment to growth even when it hurts, to integrity even when no one sees, to kindness even when the world forgets. It's the courage to keep walking when the path disappears, to keep believing when nothing seems possible. But that fire needs feeding. And what feeds it is discipline. Passion may start the engine, but discipline keeps it running. Change demands consistency, the daily, deliberate decision to act according to your higher self instead of your habits. Every time you wake up and do what's right instead of what's easy, you add fuel to that inner flame. Self-change is not about intensity for a day, it's about persistence for a lifetime. Anyone can be motivated for an hour, but very few can stay committed for years. The world changes because of those few, the ones who keep walking long after the excitement fades, the ones who understand that success is not one big moment, but 1,000 small victories won in silence. You want to change yourself? Then be prepared to be misunderstood. Because when you start growing, the world will call you different. When you choose discipline over comfort, they'll call you rigid. When you choose purpose over pleasure, they'll call you extreme. But remember, ordinary minds will always resist extraordinary growth. Don't let their noise dim your fire. You are not here to fit in. You are here to stand out through your authenticity. The world doesn't need more copies. It needs originals. People unafraid to think differently, act differently, and live differently. People who have the courage to break their own limits. Change yourself so deeply that your old self is unrecognizable. Let your transformation be so real that even your silence speaks of strength. Let your presence become a reminder to others that growth is possible, that greatness begins within. Every obstacle you face is a test of how much you're willing to evolve. Will you let pain harden you or strengthen you? Will you let failure define you or refine you? Will you let rejection destroy your faith or deepen it? Life is not against you. It's shaping you. The pressure you feel today is not punishment, it's preparation. You can't demand a diamond life while avoiding the pressure that forms one. You can't expect growth while running from struggle. Every challenge is a chisel carving the masterpiece within you. The pain you feel now is the same pain that will give you power later, if you choose to see it that way. And remember this, changing yourself doesn't mean becoming emotionless or indifferent. It means mastering your emotions so they serve you, not sabotage you. It means using anger to fuel discipline, fear to sharpen awareness, sadness to deepen empathy. Every emotion is energy. Learn to redirect it toward your evolution instead of your destruction. The fire within you is sacred. It's not for approval, it's not for show. It's the invisible force that keeps you moving when no one is watching, the quiet strength that says, I will not give up, even when everything falls apart. Protect that fire. Guard it from negativity, from doubt, from those who have forgotten their own. People will try to pull you back into your old self because your growth threatens their comfort. They'll remind you of who you were instead of seeing who you're becoming. Smile and keep walking. You owe no explanation to anyone for choosing evolution. Your only responsibility is to the truth within you, the truth that whispers, you were meant for more. And you are. You are meant to rise. You are meant to break cycles, rewrite patterns, redefine strength. You are meant to walk a path that few dare to walk, the path inward. Because that's where all real revolutions begin. You can't heal the world if you're still wounded inside. You can't bring light if you haven't faced your darkness. So before you seek to fix the world, fix yourself. Before you fight the outer battles, win the inner ones. Each time you overcome a fear, you add light to the world. Each time you forgive instead of hate, you shift the energy of the planet. Each time you choose integrity over convenience, you raise the collective vibration. The world doesn't need your opinion, it needs your evolution. The fire within you is not meant to destroy, it's meant to illuminate. It burns away the false so the truth can rise. It burns away weakness so strength can grow. It burns away illusions so clarity can reign. Don't fear the fire, become it. Let it cleanse you, shape you, rebirth you. Because when you rise from your own ashes, the world cannot remain the same. Your transformation becomes an invitation for others to transform. Your light becomes a spark in their darkness. And that is how one soul changes 1,000 lives, not through preaching, but through presence. So don't ask, can I really change the world? Ask instead, can I truly change myself? Because the day you do, the world will have already begun to change. This is the fire within you, ancient, powerful, waiting. Feed it with discipline, guard it with faith, express it through purpose. And one day you'll look back and realize, you didn't just live, you evolved. You didn't just exist, you ignited. You didn't just survive, you became the light the world was waiting for. There comes a time when the realization hits you. You can't keep waiting for the world to get better while you remain the same. You can't demand honesty from others while you still lie to yourself. You can't demand peace while your own heart is at war. You can't demand progress while you refuse to take the first step. Real change is not born from waiting. It's born from becoming. Becoming the change means turning every complaint into commitment, every weakness into work, every dream into discipline. It means you stop pointing fingers outward and start raising your hand inward, saying, I am responsible. Responsibility, that's the word most people avoid because it removes all excuses. It says, if my life is a mess, it's my job to clean it. If my mind is chaotic, it's my job to calm it. If my heart is restless, it's my job to heal it. Responsibility is the doorway through which all transformation walks. But to become the change, you must also let go of the illusion that someone else will come and fix things for you. No savior is coming. No miracle will arrive wrapped in comfort. The savior you've been waiting for is the strength already sleeping inside you. And the miracle you seek will appear the moment you decide to act. Every great transformation begins quietly, not in public speeches, but in private struggles, not in applause, but in solitude. Because before you can influence others, you must conquer yourself. Before you can speak truth to the world, you must first live it. Before you can light others' paths, you must ignite your own. Becoming the change is not about perfection. It's about alignment. It's about bringing your thoughts, your words, and your actions into harmony. It's about walking your talk, even when no one notices. It's about living the principles you preach. Because hypocrisy weakens the soul, but integrity strengthens it. The world doesn't need more speakers. It needs more doers. To change yourself, you must first understand yourself. Ask the hard questions. Who am I when no one's watching? What do I truly stand for? What do I keep running from? What kind of energy do I bring into every room? Because transformation begins with awareness, and awareness begins with honesty. Don't be afraid of what you'll discover when you look within. The parts of yourself you fear the most are the ones that need your love, not your judgment. Healing doesn't come from denying your darkness. It comes from embracing it. You can't change what you refuse to face, and you can't face what you don't acknowledge. Becoming the change also means accepting that you'll lose parts of your old identity. The version of you that survived the past cannot lead you into the future. Growth demands sacrifice, sometimes of habits, sometimes of people, sometimes of your own comfort. You must be willing to shed your old skin, even when it hurts. Because the pain of growth is far less than the pain of staying the same. Most people want transformation without transition. They want success without struggle. But life doesn't work that way. The seed must break to sprout. The butterfly must struggle to emerge. The human being must suffer to awaken. The discomfort you feel is not destruction, it's construction. You're being rebuilt into someone stronger, wiser, freer. Becoming the change means replacing complaints with choices. Instead of saying, I can't, you start saying, I'll learn. Instead of saying, I wish, you start saying, I'll work. Instead of waiting for motivation, you create momentum. Because motivation fades, but momentum carries you forward. Every time you choose to act instead of procrastinate, you rewrite your destiny. Every time you choose to forgive instead of fight, you rewrite your energy. Every time you choose discipline over desire, you reshape your identity. Transformation is not a single act, it's a lifestyle. The truth is, you don't change by reading books or watching motivational videos alone. You change by applying what you learn, by living it when it's hardest, by proving to yourself that you are capable of becoming the person you admire. Knowledge means nothing without embodiment. The most powerful people are not those who know everything. They are those who practice what they know. They don't just talk about change, they become it. Their actions speak louder than their words. Their energy influences more than their advice. That's how you become the change. Not by talking about it, but by living it so fully that your life becomes a message. Becoming the change means waking up each day with purpose. It means asking yourself, what can I do today that will make my future self proud? It means holding yourself accountable even when no one is watching. It means choosing consistency over convenience, progress over perfection. Because growth is built one honest day at a time. And yes, there will be days you'll fall. There will be moments of weakness, doubt, and exhaustion. But remember, falling doesn't mean failing. It means you're human. Get up, learn, adjust, continue. Because the path of transformation is not straight, it's a spiral. Every time you stumble, you rise higher, because you rise with more wisdom. To become the change is to understand that life is not happening to you. It's happening for you. Every obstacle is a lesson. Every delay is protection. Every ending is a beginning. You start to see that even pain has purpose, to polish you, to prepare you, to purify you. And when that awareness settles in, you stop resisting life and start collaborating with it. You stop asking, "Why me?" and start saying, "Try me." You stop waiting for miracles and start becoming one. You begin to walk differently, not with arrogance, but with quiet power, because you've seen darkness and chosen to shine anyway. Becoming the change also means living with compassion. It's not enough to grow. You must help others grow too. The purpose of awakening is not superiority, it's service. The more you evolve, the more responsibility you have to lift others. Your growth is not just for you, it's for everyone your light will touch. Be kind, not because the world deserves it, but because you are kind. Be patient, not because others are perfect, but because peace begins with you. Be truthful, not because it's easy, but because it's right. When your actions reflect your values, your life becomes your greatest speech. And slowly, without trying to force it, you'll begin to notice the world around you starts to shift. People become calmer around you. Opportunities seem to align. The chaos feels less threatening. Why? Because the energy you emit shapes the reality you experience. You're no longer reacting to the world, you're creating from within it. That's the essence of becoming the change, living in such harmony with your truth that your very presence becomes transformational. You don't have to convince anyone. You don't have to prove anything. You just have to be. And being is the loudest form of teaching there is. So, stop waiting for the world to get better. Stop waiting for others to wake up. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. The perfect person is you. The perfect opportunity is the one you create. Rise each morning knowing that change begins the moment you take responsibility for your energy. Walk each day knowing that the smallest act of awareness ripples through eternity. And rest each night knowing that every time you chose growth over comfort, you contributed to the healing of this world. Because becoming the change doesn't start with revolutions, protests, or speeches. It starts with one simple decision. I will live consciously. I will act with integrity. I will grow relentlessly. I will be the change. And when enough individuals make that decision, the world will shift, not through force, but through example, not through chaos, but through consciousness. Because the most powerful revolution is not a war fought outside, but a transformation born within. There is a moment, quiet, sacred, and life-altering, when you finally understand that everything you were seeking outside was always waiting inside you. All the peace you prayed for, all the strength you envied, all the love you chased, all the meaning you begged the world to give you. It was there, silent, patient, untouched, inside your own heart. The moment you realize this truth, you stop running. You stop fighting. You stop blaming. You stop begging life to change. Instead, you begin to awaken. The revolution of the world begins in the revolution of the self. Because the state of humanity is nothing more than the collective reflection of individual minds. Angry people make angry nations. Peaceful people make peaceful societies. Conscious people build conscious civilizations. Every global change you've ever witnessed was first born as a whisper in someone's heart, a single individual saying, enough. Enough waiting, enough hiding, enough pretending, enough letting the world decide who I am. That moment is the birth of real power, not the kind that dominates others, but the kind that dominates the self, the kind that bends chaos into clarity, the kind that turns fear into faith, the kind that no external force can destroy. When you reach that place within you, you become unshakable. Not because life becomes easier, but because you finally know who you are amidst the storm. Change yourself, not because the world demands it, but because your soul deserves it. You are not here to repeat cycles. You are here to break them. You are not here to merely survive. You are here to evolve. Every time you outgrow an old pattern, you elevate the consciousness of the entire planet. That's how connected we all are. You may think you're just one person, but the truth is, every transformation inside you sends ripples across the fabric of existence. The revolution within doesn't start with grand gestures. It starts with small choices. To be kind when you could be cruel, to listen when you could judge, to act when you could complain, to persevere when you could quit. It starts with choosing light in moments of darkness, faith in moments of fear, and love in moments of pain. Every such choice strengthens the foundation of your character. And your character, multiplied by billions of others, becomes the foundation of the world. Understand this deeply. You cannot change humanity by fighting it. You can only change it by elevating it, one consciousness at a time. Every time you rise above negativity, you lift the collective vibration. Every time you choose compassion, you dissolve hate. Every time you embody peace, you weaken war. The external world is just an echo of our internal state. The more we purify ourselves, the more the world reflects that purity back. But transformation demands truth, and truth is not always pleasant. It will challenge everything you believe about yourself. It will strip away your masks, your comfort, your illusions of control. It will expose the difference between who you pretend to be and who you truly are. And in that exposure lies freedom. Because once the mask falls, you no longer have to pretend. You can finally breathe. You can finally be real. Being real is the beginning of being powerful. Authenticity is your greatest weapon in a world addicted to appearances. When you live aligned with truth, you become untouchable by deceit. When you live with integrity, you stop chasing approval, because your peace becomes your proof. The more you become yourself, the more magnetic you become. People feel it. Energy doesn't lie. There will be resistance. The old world within you will fight to stay alive. Your ego will whisper, "Stay safe, stay small, stay predictable." But safety is an illusion, and predictability is a cage. Growth begins the moment you dare to disobey your fear. The moment you say, "I refuse to be the same person I was yesterday." That's not arrogance, that's evolution. To change yourself is to rewrite the code of your destiny. It's to take control of the pen and write your story with awareness. You stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You stop drifting and start directing. You stop existing by chance and start existing by choice. That is the highest form of freedom. Not the freedom to do whatever you want, but the freedom to become whoever you are meant to be. The revolution within also demands forgiveness, not just toward others, but toward yourself. You've made mistakes, yes. You've fallen, failed, hurt, disappointed. But those moments don't define you. They refine you. Forgiveness is not weakness, it's liberation. It's saying, "I refuse to carry this pain any longer. I release myself to rise again." Because as long as you hold on to resentment, you remain chained to the past. But when you forgive, you open the door to your future. Change yourself not to prove others wrong, but to prove yourself right. Not to gain power, but to gain peace. Not to escape the world, but to serve it more wisely. Because once you master yourself, service becomes natural. You begin to live not just for success, but for significance. Not just for happiness, but for harmony. You start realizing that the real purpose of life is not to collect more, but to become more. The revolution within is a journey, not of miles, but of depth. It's not about how far you go, it's about how deeply you understand yourself. Every layer you peel back reveals another truth, another strength, another dimension of who you are. And the deeper you go, the lighter you become. Soon you stop chasing external validation because you realize that nothing outside can complete you. You stop fearing failure because you realize it's only feedback. You stop worrying about the future because you've learned to trust your inner compass. You start living with presence, purpose, and peace. When that happens, you no longer just live, you radiate. Your presence becomes medicine, your words become light, your silence becomes teaching. You no longer need to preach about change because you are the change. People around you feel it. They watch how you handle pressure, how you respond to pain, how you walk through storms with calmness. And without realizing it, you inspire them to rise too. That is how the world transforms, not through revolutionaries shouting in the streets, but through awakened souls walking in peace. Not through loud declarations, but through quiet examples. Every time one person chooses awareness, the entire collective shifts a little closer to harmony. So look at yourself now, the person listening to these words. You are not ordinary. You are potential waiting to be activated. You are consciousness disguised as human experience. You are the seed of every change this world needs. And if you ever doubt your impact, remember this: even a single candle can light 1,000 others without losing its own flame. Your life is that candle. Light it. Keep it burning, even when the winds of the world blow hard. Protect it with your truth. Feed it with your integrity. Let it grow brighter with every challenge you face. And when darkness surrounds you, don't curse it, just shine. Because light doesn't argue with darkness, it simply replaces it. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. Yet those who do, those rare few who dare to look inward, who face their shadows, who master their minds, they are the ones who quietly reshape the destiny of humankind. So let the revolution begin, not in the streets, not in speeches, not in the noise of demands, but in the silence of your own soul. Change yourself, master yourself, heal yourself, free yourself, and as you rise, you'll lift the world with you. That's how the greatest changes happen, one conscious human being at a time. Because in the end, the world doesn't change when people shout. The world changes when people awaken, and awakening always begins with you.